Hey everybody, it's Darren Burt, and on my side here, this side is Robert Poole from Phresh Picks Distribution. How you doing, Robert?
I'm doing good, Darren. How are you?
I am good. Thanks for asking, and thanks for being here on the show with us today. For you guys who don't know, this is HQ Live, and we talk to some of the vendors and some of the newsmakers in the cannabis and the smoke shop industry, so that you guys can put a face with the name. And Robert, tell us about Phresh Picks. What is Phresh Picks? It's really Phresh Picks Distribution. What's that all about?
Yeah, most people know this as the Pineapple People, Phresh Picks. We've been around for 10 years. Our house brand is Blown Glass Goods, and we're a one-stop distributor. We have our areas of specialization, Kratom, American-made glassware, and service-oriented. It's A to Z, and we really try and not just sell you, but service you. Take care of the issues, any defects, any breakage. So you're one-stop shop, if you will.
Tell me a little about how it got started. It's kind of an interesting story.
Oh man, so my pop, he had various businesses throughout my life. He had some smoke shops, and he had a tobacco distribution company. This was kind of always the black sheep. And I took some dingy old stock from his garage, overstock, and I was going to the community college, broke as shit, and just trying to make a buck, man. And it went from one van to multiple vans to website and doing all these trade shows. And we're very fortunate to make it 10 years in business, to survive COVID, and just trying to stay hungry, stay humble, and enjoy every day. It's a great industry to be in.
So you guys have, like you were saying, a little bit of everything. You go to your website and pull down the categories menu, and there's everything from glass to grinders on there.
Yeah, it's one stop, man. You know, again, I think there's some categories we're stronger in than others, but some stores exclusively just shop through Phresh Picks. They say they get 90% to 100% of their inventory from us. People spend money with who they like, I think, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's easier to go for them if they can just talk to one person and you guys know them then, and you know what they need, and makes it a really easy transaction.
No, our clients are our friends. Many of these people, we bring them out to the balloon fiesta. I love being the tour guide.
I'll be out there for the balloon fiesta. Tell us about glass, blown glass. That's kind of a specialty for you guys.
Yeah, man. So that's my baby. We've been doing it since we started. When I first started kind of selling off my dad's stock, I just had, you know, the generic import stuff, nothing really to get my foot in the door. And I was just starting out, you know, people would beat me up on pricing, everything, you name it. So I needed to have a product on my own that could help me stand up. And that was Blown Glass Goods. And, you know, we have a good solid following on Instagram and other social channels. And we just try to have a quality American product for an affordable price. From all the budget.
Yeah, and it's not just the term blown glass. Blown Glass Goods is the name of the line.
Yeah. Blown Glass Goods. Yep.
Right. So let's talk a little bit. You guys have some, it's not all American. A lot of your stuff is American made, correct?
Yes, sir.
What's some of it?
Everything blown is American made. You know, and we tell people straight up, like a bowl, no American blower wants to make a bowl anymore. And I believe in transparency, man. Like, I think there's some companies in the past that would try and put the veil on. And I don't think that's the key to success. I think if you're just straight with people, there's a lot of brands that people know are made in China. And if they disclaim like designed in California, produced in China, it's kind of this weird shift in the market where I think 6 years ago, it was so hardcore American and import had a stigma. And I think nowadays you have the type of people that the heady crowd that buys from the artist, they're doing the Instagram bids, they're buying artist direct. Stores have kind of lost that middle ground unless you have a gallery. And I think most people, most consumers, they just want the cheapest thing. There's really not this crazy demand for American made, but there will always be. I mean, I prefer to buy everything American made. I prefer to shop locally. And, you know, you could sell somebody a $30 hand pipe that'll last them for years. And some people just want what's the cheapest thing you got. And they want the $5 pipe that they'll be back 3 times that month to buy the same pipe, you know? So it's just shifts in the market, man. Every day with the internet, the world's getting smaller. The market's changing faster. And so there's still a demand for American made. There always will be. But it's different, man. I'll definitely say, and I think shop owners can agree, it's not like it was 5 or 6 years ago when people were really gung-ho on American. I think this up-and-coming generation, every year there's a new 18-year-old, 21-year-old smoker. What's the cheapest thing you got? So Phresh Picks caters everything. You want American, we got you. We have our local artists that do our hand pipes and such. And then we've got, you know, the carb caps, the bangers. It's all coming from one place. You know what I'm saying? It's a global economy.
Yeah. What's the saying that you have there?
From budget to baller?
Budget to baller. There you go. I like that. So we're talking about glass. Let's talk about trends as far as smoking is concerned. You see flower concentrates. What do you see coming down the line here?
We love to smoke here in the States. So I think it's crazy, man. I think last year in August, when all those bad cartridges were going around with the honey cuts and such, battery sales were white hot. And then all that bad press kind of hit, and people were spooked on batteries, and it tanked. And I started to see that rebounding. I think e-nails and e-rigs, such as your Puffco or your Versa, your Carta V, those are hot. Batteries are making a resurgence. Glass is always going to be king. I think people are more into American glass now, especially with all this COVID stuff. A, for availability, and B, I mean, not that the virus is going to stay on surfaces, but people are buying American. Mm-hmm. And, you know, something we talked about previously is it's all regional. You know, the Midwest, you're going to see more flour. Yeah. In rec states, med states, you're going to see more concentrates. But truly, man, everything sells. We're very fortunate that there's always new technology which pushes sales. It's just personal preference, man. I think people go back and forth as smokers, concentrate, flower. You know, it's amazing. It's honest. It's awesome.
No, we've been in the COVID situation for a few months now. Doesn't look like it's going anywhere as of today. Yeah. Do you see people going to more personal devices?
Oh yeah, man. I refuse to sesh with people like that anymore. You know, I think that if they're doing J's, everybody's getting a little baby joint. You know, nobody's passing anything around anymore. You know, I think silicone mouthpieces. I think that this industry will find a way. It always does. We've always been rebels. And yeah, I think that, you know, now everybody's going to bring their own piece to the session. And
so does that,
something that's always been commonplace. People like to show off their toys. People like to show off those headies, those e-nails.
Yeah.
And people are just going to come with those kits to the sesh, and now people are going to sling what they bring, you know?
So what are some of the products that you guys have in your catalog that fit that personal category?
Really, again, man, it's personal preference. What I like and what you like are going to be two different things. You know?
Let's say I'm a store. What do I want to have in my store if I'm able to reopen?
You know, my pop taught me something a long time ago. Stores want everything new. You could be stocked to the hill. You could have no budget dollars left. If I show you that new Puffco attachment, or if I show you that new limited edition, we're going to say yes because we don't want to lose revenues. So really, I mean, it's interesting. Everything sells, and it's just a matter of straddling that line between not being overstocked and having to dump, and just turning things, getting in and out of the trends quickly. You know, it's wild, man. I wish I had a silver bullet answer for that, but I don't.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about COVID. How's it affecting Phresh Picks, or is it?
It's scary, man. Honestly, again, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. We had this huge marketing campaign set out for April of 2020. You know, it was going to be an entire month-long haze of clouds, and that went to shit. You know, we're just very grateful and very humble to be here, man. It was a very humbling experience. You're climbing the mountain and you get smacked down to size. And, you know, I just care for our clients. I know there's some people that may not recover from this. It may be a death blow. And I would just like to see the industry come together and folks do the right thing, you know, and take care of people and don't gouge on pricing just because you can. You know, just be straight, because we're going to adjust to normal and things will become more normal. And people don't forget who was helpful and who was opportunistic, if you will, you know?
Yeah. And you guys are open for business. You're in New Mexico, right?
Yeah, man, it was tough. I mean, again, we've been in compliance the entire time. It was hairy there for a while. But no, I mean, as many of these people know, this industry is rebellious. We came from a back room, a gray area. We're a rebellious crowd. So we're already used to going against the grain. You know, we're going to be compliant. It's people over profit. But we're all small businesses, man. You know, like we're not Walmart. We're not Best Buy. A lot of these people, even the people that are big dogs, we're still small businesses in the scheme of things, you know. And I think that small businesses is the backbone of America.
But you guys are there right now to take the orders and ship it out, right?
Yes, sir. And again, we provide all masks, gloves, sanitizer. Every employee has a station. You know, it's ultimately up to the individual to keep themselves clean. But we provide everything. If I step out there, you know, we do what we got to do. As soon as clients come in, most of them are donning gloves and masks. People are taking care of themselves, you know, especially people have kids or they're taking care of their mother. You know, people know what to expect, and we have the precautions in place. And you know, the show has to continue. You know, unfortunately, we can't stop.
Let's just talk about in a normal climate, if that ever is a normal, if there is any normal again. How does Phresh Picks work with retailers? Do you have any special programs or ways that you help them to do their business better?
Their success is our success, right? You know, and you want them to be around next year, and they want us to be around next year. You know, from the manufacturer to the vendor to us to the client to the end consumer, everybody's got to win along the way. If it's one-sided, it's a one-time win. If everybody wins, it's a long-term collaboration, if you will. And so, I mean, we do lots of stuff. We've helped people, you know, with balances during this whole thing. We've sent out masks. You know, it used to be a time when you'd give your favorite client a bottle of whiskey, and now you give them a bottle of hand sanitizer. And so it's community, man. I think it's really just sticking together and showing people who you really are when your back's up against the wall. I think that everybody can agree with this next statement that COVID showed us a lot of who people really are, good or bad. You know what I'm saying?
Very, very true. How many SKUs do you guys have in your catalog?
3,000 and growing every day, man. You know, it's amazing.
How do you, with that many different things in the catalog, how do you find these things? And what are you looking for? Honestly,
man, our product procurement process has gotten a little bit more sophisticated. It used to just be kind of throwing darts at the board. To put your distribution weight behind something, you really got to kind of do a little bit of research. I mean, we're all on social media. We're right in that strike zone. You know, we're young. We're all on social media constantly, probably more than we should be. And I think that's kind of where things start. You see something, you tag your buddies, you tag your manager, you tag your coworker. These guys bring it to my attention. Clients bring it to my attention. I think the eyes and ears out there are really our stores and our sales reps. And then we go to the trade shows and then we say, hey, is this going to be a hit? Do we like this brand? Can they keep up with the demand? And then once we think we have a winner, we put some weight behind it and, you know, we put it out there. And we also guarantee stuff. Like if we try something and it's a miss, Phresh Picks will work with people. You know, we don't want the trial and error process to end in their lap. It's not a hot potato. You know?
Well, of course, you can do everything you can do to make sure it's going to be a big seller, but there's no guarantee.
No. Just
and like you said, again, it's regional.
Yeah, totally. There's some things that just blow it out nationally where you just can't lose almost. But yeah, no, it's definitely regional. And I mean, even with, I think, you know, at the beginning of this year, we couldn't lose on flavor pods. The FDA spanked us on that one. So just when you think you can't lose, again, you know, the world is changing at an incredibly fast pace.
Nice. Well, let's wrap this up. You got a business to run, and we got to see what's
Friday,
going on.
Man. We're out of here, dude.
Friday, you're right. It's Friday. You're right. So what do you got planned for the weekend?
Oh, man, hanging with the kiddos. Might ride the downhill bike. Test some products, man.
So what?
Weekend, man. New Mexico
New Mexico weekend. There you go. That's a lot of stuff to do in New Mexico. Outdoor stuff, right? So let's. Why don't you leave our retailers and our viewers with some words of advice, and we'll close on that.
Golly, you're putting me on the spot here.
I'm putting you on the spot, man. A lot of guys not open right now. A lot of them,
you know, man. And I feel for them, and I would say, you know, just do what you can. And I think if you keep your word and you mean well, and you get up every day and you want to get it, I think you'll always be all right. And I appreciate. After 10 years, I want to give a heartfelt and sincere thank you to everybody in this industry. A lot of mentors. Took a lot of help to get here. I didn't do it alone. I've had some really great support along the way from staff, vendors, clients, you name it. Just overwhelmed with gratitude. And y'all stay fresh out there, man. And I hope to see everybody at some trade shows. No virtual. I'm talking the real deal. And not muzzled with a mask either. You know, I can't wait to see all my industry friends and family. And just very fortunate, man. I love what I do. You know?
All right, man. Thanks a lot. You be safe. And we'll talk to everybody later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.